Okay, so whose idea was it for us to work anyway? Ever ask yourself that question when you were growing up? In today's video, we're going to take a look at our attitudes about work. The reason we're going to spend some time with this is because it's really important. According to neurophysiologists and psychologists, boy, that's a mouthful. The way we think about things actually creates our experience of those things. So you see, the way we think about work, good or bad, it's going to create that experience for us subconsciously. So this is a pretty important topic. So let's dig in. Now, you'd probably agree with me when I say that for most of us, work represents a way to make a living. Yet it's not that way for everybody. For some people, work is much more than that. And for most people, we aspire to be in that latter category rather than the former. Unfortunately, for that majority of people that I just mentioned, they typically spend their working lives dreaming of the day where they no longer have to work. The Gallup organization has for years tracked engagement of the U.S. workforce and found that 70% plus or minus of people are disengaged with their work. So let me ask a question. If your definition of success is no longer needing to work, then what is it called when you're still working? Does that mean you're not successful if you still have to work? It's kind of an insidious thing, isn't it? But those are the kind of things that sneak up on us and that sit in our subconscious mind and affect the way that we see work. We don't want work to be just a paycheck. We'd love to love our work. So what determines where you are on that continuum? I propose to you that we all learn how to relate to work. And that learning begins very early in our life. Often, our very earliest experiences with work can form how we relate to work, which can then influence our adult decisions around work. So, for example, if you seldom or never were given the opportunity to make choices about the kind of work that you wanted to do or when you wanted to do it and things of that nature, then you might easily doubt your ability to choose a career path that really speaks to you, but goes against the grain of what authority figures in your early life would approve of. I've seen this many times with clients that I've coached over the decades, as they get trapped into careers defined by the expectations of others rather than their own passions, talents, personality, and choices. So this is why it's so important for each of us to really kind of take inventory of how we think about work so that we can identify those attitudes that are serving us well and those that aren't. So to start our quick conversation about how to take inventory of your attitudes, let's begin by taking a look at a few examples of some common attitudes that are pretty prevalent in the world of work. So does anything on this list look familiar? It's important to realize that when you're going through and inventorying your attitudes about work, it's not about what's right or wrong or good or bad. It's about what serves you well, and that's a choice that only you can make for yourself. Now, these examples are just that. They're examples. So it's important when you're doing your own work and taking inventory of your own attitudes, use these as a guide. So go ahead, take some time, write down what your ideals are around work and how you'd like to feel, how you'd like to relate to work, and then look at your own attitudes in contrast to that and see where the gap is. Now, of course, when you do that, you're going to have two perspectives. You're going to have the perspective of your current job if you're currently employed, and then you're going to have the perspective in general. So you'll want to account for both of those. Here on this slide is another approach that I've often used with my clients. I've often found that people feel pretty complete when they use both of these methods and then compare their results. Use whatever serves you best. Since we learn how to relate to work, we can unlearn it. Since we create our attitudes by deciding to believe X, Y, or Z about something, if those beliefs aren't serving us anymore, if those attitudes are harming us, then guess what? We can change them. So don't get me wrong here, I'm not bashing work. There's nothing wrong with work. The problem is in how we subconsciously relate to work. Is work something that we dislike so much that we can't wait to stop doing it, i.e. retire? Or is work something more for us? It really comes down to each of us deciding what we aspire to for ourselves. What do we want work to be in our lives? Choosing to see your work as your gift to the world can change everything. It can certainly change your life It can give your work a sense of meaning. It can give you a platform to truly and authentically love your work. It can help you be proud of what you're doing each and every day. It can help you roll out of bed every morning inspired and motivated to go do more. I hope you can see that the benefits to you to thoroughly explore your current attitudes toward work and perhaps even shift them are many and significant. If you're interested, more detailed guidance and information is available in my ebook titled How to Crush That Career Thing. This ebook is available via a link in the description below and on my website at sfc-suite.com. Explore how shifting some of your attitudes to work may be able to help support you in truly achieving your dreams for your work. That's a wrap for this video. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you in the next video.